Hey there, I am back with another deck review. Today, going to be looking at the Bicycle Porcelain playing cards. This deck was originally produced exclusively for the Chinese market, but was really popular there and eventually brought forward to the US market and sold here as well. This one right here is actually the US version of the deck. Some slight differences, but it's mostly in the ad cards. So let's take a look at it, find out what it's all about. So the front of the tuck, it's a glossy finish to the tuck, and it's done in a lot of different shades of blue all the way through. So it's mostly blue and white. That's going to be common throughout the entire deck. It has bicycle in the classic font across the top, porcelain written at the bottom, and then you've got this large spade pip with the two fish that are kind of framing it up and making up that spade. Fish are a really common symbol for good luck and fortune in Chinese culture. In fact, the word yu, which is the word for fish, is also the same as the word for abundance. So they appear quite a bit in Chinese mythology and are featured as well on this deck. So you've got that spade pip. The background is done up with tons of little like flourishes and swirls and lines going all the way through. And then the fish themselves are actually pretty heavily embossed. If we tilt it this way, you can kind of see that embossing. So you've got the tails with lots of embossing on them. And then a detail I really, really like, which is the embossing even on the individual scales of the fish. So really nicely done work on that one. It gives it a much nicer feel to the regular glossy finish you get with a lot of bicycle tucks. Along the sides, this is air cushion finish made in the USA. Same thing on the other side. Regular ad copy on the bottom. And then the back's going to feature a representation of the back of the cards. So you can see here, because of the drop shadow, that's the actual card there on that white and blue background. And then you've got some really nice touches of embossing here. So this is not actually printed on the cards themselves, but you do have an embossing of kind of a ripple of water, almost as if there was a couple of drops of water that hit on that. Nice little extra on that. Really like how that was done. And then the top, it says standard index. You have a regular black bicycle standard tuck seal. A little bit more ad copy on the inner flaps here. Have these little gold designs here on the inner flaps. And then you've got a little bit of printing. It's kind of weird, but you have some printing on the interior of the tuck case. So it's mostly this navy blue, but then just this one little piece here has a little bit of extra design work done on it. Not sure why that wasn't continued down to the rest of the tuck. But really nice tuck. Love the color scheme. Love the touches of embossing and just how subtly the embossing was done to really just highlight particular design elements on this. So I really like that tuck case. The cards starting with the back. So it's a borderless and one-way back design. Don't normally like one-way back designs nearly as much. Definitely hurts the functionality of the card, but it is still a really beautifully done design. So in the theme of porcelain, you have a few what are kind of plates in here in the background. One of them featuring a flower, one of them featuring kind of some bamboo leaves, and then one just featuring some intricate circular design pattern there. You have the two fish, one larger, one smaller, swimming around in the kind of water here. And then you've got those water ripples. It's very subtle, but really nicely done artwork to show the circular ripples of the water coming through there. So really nicely drawn, beautifully done. Wish they'd found some way to make it a two-way back design, I suppose, but I'm not sure they could have, really accomplished the same scene with a two-way back design. So I don't know, take it for what it is. So there's the back design. Extra cards, you get two jokers, and they're the classic 808 bicycle design with the king riding on the bicycle. One of them done in a dark blue and white, and the other one fully colored with the red and the gold metallics there. There's your two jokers. Two pretty boring standard bicycle ad cards. And then you get to the deck itself. So a lot of custom going on in this deck, a lot of little custom touches. Starting with the Ace of Spades, features that same design that we saw on the front of the tuck with the two fish framed up on the spade pip there. It says Chinese Porcelain, the United States Playing Card Company, made in the USA at the bottom. And then you have a pretty standard index in the corner. Hard to tell in the video, but these indices up here are actually a really, really dark blue rather than the traditional black. There's the Ace of Spades. Number cards, other than being blue instead of black, are going to be pretty standard to what you're used to on any bicycle deck. And then the courts, while a standard design, are going to be completely recolored. So blues, a lot of blue hues in them, and then gold metallic ink for like the hair and some of the touches on the clothing. So really nicely done. I love a good recolored set of quartz when it's really well done. The frame on here is a little bit different as well. You have these little wisps of clouds in the top right and bottom left corners, kind of breaking that up as well. I like the quartz on these ones. Your reds are going to be a little bit brighter, almost tending a little bit more towards pink from what you might be used to, but pretty standard red color on those otherwise. And then the quartz are really bright. So a lot more red in the recolorings of these. So you've got more of that gold metallic, but you almost don't see it because that red is so bright on this one. There's tons of red. The frames change to red as well. Just lots of really, really bright color going on in these. And then same continues through the deck. There's the red and the blue side by side. Your club quartz, more of those gold hits going all the way through there and down through the rest of the deck. There's your hearts and through those and closing with the ace of hearts. So that's the deck. Handling is going to be what you're used to. Fans work really, really well with any bicycle deck. That borderless design shows up really, really nicely in fans. And also a nice touch is because it is that one-way back design, it's going to look completely different depending on which way you fan it. So here you've got those bamboo leaves that are really, really highlighted. Whereas when you go from this side, that flower becomes the dominant feature. If I could do a left-handed fan, you'd be able to see, you know, where the blue or this plate pattern over here comes in. But love what a borderless card will do with a fan. So that's the handling of the deck. What is it for? Honestly, with that one-way back design, it's going to limit a lot of what you'd want to use this for with like magic or even cardistry, other than the beauty of the fans. But you could definitely make use of this for gameplay. Probably a little bit annoying as the cards get, you know, backwards and forwards. But it really is, to me, just an art deck. Definitely one where you can look at this, really have a lot of appreciation for all the detail that went into the design. So that's it with the Porcelain deck. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know if there's more decks that you want to see. Always looking for more content and just decks that you guys will enjoy. So let me know what else you want to see. Subscribe for more deck reviews and unboxings, and I'll see you for the next one.